Hello, my name is Katerina Kaki. My children were uplifted from my home in Manukau by the police and Septs. My two daughters were raped while in state care. One of my daughters was raped in 2004. The foster mother that was meant to look after her had gone out for the night and left one of her friends to look after about 6 girls that lived at the house in Christmas Road in Manerewa, and she fell asleep. Now, in hospitals, you don't fall asleep, you stay awake 24/7. But this lady fell asleep, so one of the other girls that was older than my daughter, she was 15 years old, she took my daughter with one of her mates that came to pick her up, both of them up. My daughter was only 11 at the time. Took her to K Road. She didn't know where she was going. Went to a club at K Road. Someone spiked her orange drink and she got raped by the person there. She said that it was a person with a foreign accent. So that's one thing Septs failed at, to have somebody around the clock. When she went into that home, they said that they would supervise her, but they didn't. They left her with a fill-in mate for the night, not a foster parent. The second daughter, she got raped by getting, the taxi driver would pick her up from her house in Papakura and taken to Papakura High School every day. But one particular day, the driver that was part of United Taxis Limited, he abducted her and took her out to Clevedon and raped her there. We went through the courts, but because she had no witness that day, they had to let him off. And all the mates from Papakura High School knew who he was. He never been on the taxi, but when he went to court, he had to look holier than thou to the judge. So that helped him a bit. But yeah, that's another thing that Septs have failed to do, is to provide taxis, female taxis for female clients. But they gave her a male a driver. So he got off the hook, but in God's eyes, karma soon catches up with the person who does the raping and the abducting. So, and then my son got run over. He had the weekend over at my place, him and my other son. They're twins. The neighbour across the road, he had a party the night before. He was drunk, sent his two daughters with my two sons' bikes that their father had bought for my two boys, the twins. The girls across the road went up the shop on my son's bikes, and because they got special needs, my son went up to follow where the bikes were being taken, and that's when he got run over. Now, if Septs had left my son in my care, I would have had, this happened 3 years later after they had taken them. 2003, Septs had taken them. 2006 was the accident. If they had left him with me, he would have been trained up to cross the roads in those 3 years. But the answer I got was, we always kept them behind the gates. We never let them out of our sight. Which means they never taught him how to cross roads. So that's another thing that Septs needs to do, is to teach children how to cross roads, especially when they're only 10 years old. He had the accident, so now he's got a brain injury, a diffuse axonal injury. I let the father's mother, have turns looking after my oldest daughter. But the boyfriend of the grandmother had sexually abused her. She ended up keeping her, but I tried to get my daughter back, but I hadn't known the grandmother, the father's mother, that for very long, and I regret letting her have turns out, because she never ended up giving her back to me. And SIFs came to me and they said, oh, we went to see the grandmother. She seems to be all right. And she said the boyfriend doesn't live there, but he did. He lived there every day. And he ended up raping her, sexually abusing her over the years. And I couldn't, and SIF said, nah, she's all right with the grandmother. But she wasn't, and now she had the same sexual behaviours that girl that you're talking to in the black. She had behaviours like that at school too. And then I got blamed for neglecting her. But I told the second lot of SIFs, no, the first lot of SIFs wouldn't give her back to me, and they go, oh no, that's your fault. No, I tried my best. But that's another thing SIFs needs to do, is to get their facts straight. So I've got all the files, all the letters from 1994 when they wouldn't give her back to right up till 2009 when they eventually gave my children back after 15 years, and all those abuses had happened in state care. So that's what I need to see change. If there's no change, we're going to vote them out of Parliament.